What's up, guys? Welcome back to Easy Breezy Vegan, where I make veganism easy breezy to digest. February is just around the corner, which means that Februdairy is also right around the corner. Februdairy started as an ad campaign by the dairy industry to combat the increasingly successful Veganuary, where participants eat a vegan diet during the month of January. Hashtag Februdairy originally aimed to promote a positive image of dairy farming, but the hashtag was hijacked by vegans who used it to share facts about the cruel dairy industry instead. Now Februdairy is a great time for people to learn the truth about the dairy industry and switch to plant milk instead. There are a number of issues related to the dairy industry, and I have a video where I talk about some of the problems with dairy, which I will make sure to link at the end of this video. Make sure to like this video and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well so you can stay up to date with all the easy breezy things. Now, giving up dairy isn't only great for the animals. There are also a number of other benefits as well. Today, I'll be covering 7 of the most prominent benefits that can occur when going dairy-free. Let's go ahead and get started. One benefit of going dairy-free is weight loss. There's a lot of propaganda out there about how consuming milk and dairy can help you lose weight or help to maintain a healthy weight. So maybe you'd be surprised to hear that giving up dairy can actually help in losing weight. Dairy contains lactose, which is a sugar, and increased sugar intake can lead to weight gain. So when a person cuts out dairy, they're often cutting out some added sugar from their diet as well. On top of sugar, milk also contains fat, with 2% milk containing about 4.9 grams of fat and whole milk containing a whopping 8 grams of fat in a 1-cup serving. And with cheese, it's the same story. A single slice of cheddar cheese provides 9 grams of fat.
Yeah, but whoever just eats one single slice of cheddar cheese? I usually eat a few out of the package or put a couple slices on my sandwich.
You get how that's worse, right? Anyways, again, a single slice of cheddar cheese provides 9 grams of fat, and 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese contains a staggering 37 grams of fat.
Yeah, but whoever just has 1 cup of shredded cheese, huh? I usually always have at least 2 cups.
Dude, you have issues. Dairy is oftentimes an extra thing that is added to food. Cheese is sprinkled on top of other food items. Cream is added to drinks. Sour cream is put on top of other foods. So oftentimes the dairy that is consumed by people is extra calories. Dairy products are also calorically dense, so they provide a lot of calories, but they don't take up very much room in your stomach. It's easy to eat a lot of them and not get full. Now, when someone cuts out dairy, they're also cutting out extra sugar, fat, and calories from their diet, which understandably results in weight loss. So if you're trying to lose some lbs, it might be a good idea to start with losing the dairy in your diet. Cutting dairy products can lead to improved digestion. About 65% of the population suffers from lactose intolerance, which is a gastrointestinal condition in which the body is unable to digest lactose. The prominence of lactose intolerance varies by race. About 95% of Asian Americans, 74% of Native Americans, 70% of African Americans, 53% of Mexican Americans, and 15% of Caucasians are affected by lactose intolerance. There are varying degrees and types of lactose intolerance, so it can affect people differently. Lactose intolerance can also be developed later in life, as most people actually stop producing lactase, which is the enzyme required to digest lactose in adulthood. Because lactase is not present to break down the lactose is not absorbed and instead remains in the intestine where it causes symptoms. Symptoms of lactose intolerance include upset stomach, diarrhea, gas, cramping, and bloating.
Whoa, that kind of sounds like some of the things that happen to me, but it's only when I eat ice cream, so it's no big deal.
Have you thought that maybe you could be lactose intolerant, Tina?
What? No, I said it only happens when I eat ice cream.
You do know ice cream is dairy, right? Anyways, aside from lactose intolerance, people can also suffer from casein sensitivity. Casein is a protein found in cow's milk, and this happens when the body identifies casein as a threat and triggers a reaction in an attempt to fight it off. So if you're experiencing issues with your digestion, it might be worth cutting out dairy to see if your symptoms clear up. Quitting dairy can help clear up acne. There have been a number of studies that point to an association between dairy consumption and acne. There are a few theories as to why dairy has been shown to increase acne. One possible theory is the hormones that are naturally found in milk, which are estrogen and progesterone, can interact with our own hormones and confuse our endocrine system, which can cause disruptions and imbalances with our own hormones, which can lead to breakouts. RGBH, which is a genetically engineered bovine growth hormone, is actually injected into cows to increase their milk production. RGBH has been shown to aggravate acne as well. RGBH increases the levels of IGF-1 in cows, which could cause higher levels of IGF-1 in milk as well. Studies have found that an elevated level of IGF-1 may play a role in the development of acne. Dairy is also known to be mucus forming, which contributes to inflammation in our bodies.
Ew, mucus is gross.
It sure is. Now, this inflammation can manifest itself in a number of ways, including breakouts. Many dermatologists are recommending dairy-free diets to patients who are looking for relief from acne. So, if you're looking to clear up your face, a good place to start would be giving up dairy. Just be mindful that it could take weeks to actually see results after going dairy-free. Make sure you're sitting down, because this next one might surprise you, but quitting dairy can actually give you stronger bones.
Say what?
I know, it sounds completely illogical. For most of us, we were taught that milk consumption was absolutely vital for strong bones. This is because milk contains calcium, but there are plenty of other foods that have high levels of calcium as well. Yet, it was milk that was always touted as being essential in our diets, which is weird when you consider that 65% of the population is lactose intolerant. How can something be deemed essential when 65% of the population can't digest it properly?
Well, it makes sense to me.
Does it? We can get all the calcium we need from plants. Green leafy vegetables such as broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, collards, mustard greens, and other greens are loaded with easily absorbable calcium. Beans are also loaded with calcium, so it is unnecessary to get your calcium from dairy. Plants containing calcium also contain a bunch of other healthy vitamins and minerals and are naturally low in fat. Whereas dairy contains calcium, but with it comes hormones, saturated fat, animal proteins, antibiotics, and cholesterol.
Wow, that's a lot of baggage.
We have all been told that consuming dairy will give us strong bones, but studies have shown that dairy products have little or no benefits for bones. According to a study published in the British Medical Journal, high milk intake was associated with higher mortality and in a higher incidence of hip fractures. And according to the Physicians' Committee for Responsible Medicine, the countries with the highest rates of osteoporosis are the ones where people drink the most milk and have the most calcium in their diets. I'm going to repeat that. The countries that drink the most milk have the most osteoporosis. So, not only has consumption of dairy been shown to not improve bone health, it's actually been shown to result in potentially worse bone health, resulting in more fractures and higher rates of osteoporosis. So, if you want stronger bones, then eat plant foods rich in calcium and break up with dairy and give your bones a break.
Poor choice of words.
You could lessen your exposure to antibiotics by going dairy-free. The pharmaceutical industry sells 80% of all antibiotics made in the US to animal agriculture. A majority of the antibiotics administered to animals are not to fight bacterial infections, but were more likely administered in continuous low dosages through water or feed to increase the growth rate of these animals. This is a problem because antibiotics, which are one of the world's greatest medical discoveries, are slowly losing their effectiveness in fighting bacterial infections. Antibiotic resistance is a growing threat and is largely due to the overuse and misuse of antibiotics in animal agriculture. Antibiotic resistance in bacteria is leading to an increase in superbacteria. Every year, 23,000 people die from antibiotic-resistant bacteria. The World Health Organization has also warned that we are nearing a post-antibiotic era in medicine in which common infections and minor injuries can once again kill.
But that would suck.
Yeah, it would. Antibiotic resistance is threatening our ability to treat common infectious diseases. A growing list of infections such as pneumonia, tuberculosis, blood poisoning, gonorrhea, and foodborne diseases are becoming harder and sometimes impossible to treat as antibiotics become less and less effective. Misuse of antibiotics can also destroy the healthy flora in your gut, as well as hamper the ability of your white blood cells to fight off infections. So avoid ingesting unnecessary antibiotics in your diet by avoiding dairy. Ditching dairy can decrease your cancer risk.
No way, I hate cancer.
Yes way! According to studies, consumption of dairy products has been linked to higher risk for various cancers. There are different possible reasons for milk's linked to cancer, and they vary depending on the type of cancer. For instance, according to the Physicians' Committee for Responsible Medicine, the danger of dairy product consumption as it relates to prostate cancer is most likely linked to increases in insulin-like growth factor, otherwise known as IGF-1. Consuming milk and dairy products on a regular basis has been shown to increase blood levels of IGF-1 in humans. One study showed that men with the highest levels of IGF-1 had more than 4 times the risk of prostate cancer compared with those that had the lowest levels. With breast cancer, a study of 1,893 women diagnosed with early-stage invasive breast cancer revealed that eating more high-fat dairy products was linked to higher mortality rates. This could be because hormones are stored in fat, so the women who were consuming more high-fat dairy compared to low-fat dairy were also consuming more estrogen. But that doesn't mean that switching to low-fat dairy will necessarily save you either. The relationship between dairy products and ovarian cancer may be due to the breakdown of lactose into galactose, a sugar which may be toxic to ovarian cells. There have also been studies that show avoiding dairy products results in decreased risks of certain cancers. A large study published in the British Journal of Cancer identified 22,788 people who were lactose intolerant and found that those who avoided dairy had a lower incidence of lung, breast, and ovarian cancers than their family members who did not avoid dairy. So cut out dairy and maybe cut your cancer risk too. Removing dairy from your diet can reduce your environmental impact. As well as the health benefits you might see after giving up dairy, there are environmental benefits as well. Animal agriculture is responsible for 18% of all greenhouse gas emissions, which is more than the combined exhaust from all transportation combined. Animal agriculture also uses large amounts of water and is responsible for 80 to 90% of US water consumption. Now, it takes approximately 900 gallons of water to produce 1 pound of cheese and 1,000 gallons of water to produce 1 gallon of milk.
Whoa! That's approximately the same amount of water used in taking 58 showers!
That's right, and animal agriculture also uses a lot of land, with livestock covering approximately 45% of the Earth's total land. Animal agriculture is also the leading cause of species extinction, ocean dead zones, water pollution, and habitat destruction. The global cattle population amounted to about 989 million cattle in 2019. Approximately 250 million of those cattle were raised for dairy. Most cattle that are raised for meat are slaughtered between 12 to 24 months, but dairy cows are usually slaughtered after 4 to 5 years. This means that a dairy cow will live twice as long as a cow raised for meat, which means they'll also use more resources, including water, land, and food. They'll also have twice as much time to release methane into the atmosphere. By giving up dairy, you can decide to no longer contribute to this industry and reduce your environmental impact as well. If you'd like to learn more about animal agriculture and its effect on our planet, click on the video linked above. The dairy industry is cruel to animals, it's bad for the environment, it's bad for our health, and it's not a necessary part of our diet, so ditch it for good, or try going dairy-free for the month of February and see how easy living a dairy-free lifestyle can be. As well as reducing harm to animals, hopefully this video has given you a number of reasons to stop consuming dairy. Let me know why you gave up or are wanting to give up dairy in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure to take it easy breezy and be vegan. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!